Oh, thank God, Adder's here. Thank God. Well, I was like, am I only going to get Omni who dropped in to say first and then leave and then not actually be here for the stream? Or am I going to get other people? Tony helped me to do some things for the stream setup. So this is actually from my machine today. I've got the fucking fractal and the countdown going. It's pretty wild. There's no such thing as pre-stream first, Omni. If anything, Adder got first with the '07 salute and the thank God. No, no one's fighting it out. You're just saying things that are irrelevant, bro. Yeah, it is a medical condition. Don't worry, it happens to everybody, Omni. 9 out of 11 doctors, bro. What is that scale? Adder, get out of here. I mean, not really. Don't get out of here. Stay here, please. I'll be very lonely otherwise. I do have Tony, but he's in chat. You guys shouldn't be able to hear him. I bet if he talks, though, my mic will pick him up.
Yeah, probably. They can probably almost hear me.
Oh, they can, dude. It's that's so funny. We only pulled odd numbers for that statistic. Nice, dude. Oh, that's crazy. No, he's not landing at my place. He's at his place, but he's got to go in the middle of stream, so he's just gonna hang out for a little bit, not actually be here for stream. He's in our remote studio. I don't know what the fuck you would call it. I don't know broadcast TV terms. Tony, if I do want to play sound from Unreal, so I'm gonna have to turn on desktop audio, but you'll come through clearly if I do that. You'll probably echo too.
Yeah, what you can do is in your sources, you can add an application audio capture source, and then you can point that at a specific application.
It might be too late for that, bro. But it's
You got
okay.
time. Just hit the plus in your sources.
I
We
don't
got
want to
this.
do it. I don't want to do it. It's terrifying.
Okay, don't worry about it. Hey, I'll mute if you gotta have sound. I'll mute. Gotta mute soon anyway.
All right, sweet. He's in the field. Yeah, he is. He's out in the field. He's got the camera truck with him and everything. Actually, I think I'm in the field and Tony's back at like the HQ. Yeah, he's in the arena trying stuff. All right, if I did this right, I will have cropped out revision control so you guys can't see it, which is good. That's what we want. Let me move some other things. Okay, that's moved. Just making sure I don't have anything on my main monitor. That would be not good to have.
You can always hit studio mode in OBS and then click on a scene to see what it's going to look like before you open it too, if you're really worried.
No, I think I'm good. I pulled everything off of the main screen. Oh, hold on. Sorry, guys. The thingy hit 0. Oh, we did it. I'm here. Sorry we don't have any fun music today. I don't have that set up, so it's just the. What's the word I'm looking for? The dulcet tones. That's what I was looking for. The dulcet tones of my voice. Glad I made it in time. I blue screened my machine minutes before stream. Damn, bro. I was making changes to the core environment shader while Plane Editor was running. Oh, yeah, that's not good. That's pretty funny, man. Your screen just shuts off. Computer was like, I'm giving it all I can give it, Captain. Sweet. So, I mean, I guess we can get right into it. I got a couple things for you guys today. I can read the Dread story. Oh boy, minimized everything. I fucked up. There we go. We're back. Oh man, I do that so often. Okay, hold on. We're getting back. We're getting here, guys. All right, we did it. I'm back. Yeah, I jiggled everything when I was selecting a whatever. But so I can read the story for you guys. I want to show some more Dread. We got some new things in. I know it's been a while since we probably just like walked around in here, so that'll be cool. Let's go here. Right, that. Why are we at? Where's the spawn? Oh, it's over here. I see. Okay. So yeah, that's it's gonna be, I guess, less yapping today potentially, depending on how active chat is. As chat gets more active, I might yap more and read you guys a story, shit like that. My favorite Windows feature in recent years. Yep. Turn that shit off or use that shit and hide all of your windows at the same time immediately. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to turn on desktop audio so you guys can hear some of the sound we've got in here. It's very rudimentary still, but, we're not in polish yet. Oh, that's what's bugging me. My actor palette. Let's get you over here, brother. Sweet. Okay, actor palette's chilling. Desktop audio should be good. Yeah, there we go. You guys got some crickets. I'm going to mute my mic so I don't double crickets. Nah, fucking, I'm turning it on. We're riding this. All right. So this is where we start. We've got the turning cog lamps. They out there popping and locking as the shadows go in and out. Here, you know what? I'm going to back up here. We'll go to the start. Get into Cricket Land. I'm going to go here. What was it under? No, it's not UDS. It's this. That's what I meant to do. Turn off debug. All right, cool. All right, just wait for that lighting to clean up a little bit. Sweet. There we go. Makes me want to get a Razer Naga mouse to min-max my power using user mapping. Oh, yeah. Because you can, it has the keypad on the side. I used to have one of those. That's the MMO mouse, right? All right, anyway. There is a mansion back there, but disregard that. It's not supposed to be there. That's a prototype thing we're working on. All right, so the weenies are not visible enough. Oh, there's a little bit. You can see a little bit down there. But it's very subtle right now, which is okay. We're still working those things out. So I'm going to intentionally choose an incorrect path. It should work out okay. Yeah, Tony does have a wild keyboard. Oh, we're coming back. Yeah, nice. Okay, we did it. We teleported. This time when we get to the intersection and look around and go left. These tree shadows look a little weird, but that's okay. We'll fix that. Yeah, dude. Split ergo. Absolutely. Brother-in-law's making his own model of split ergo. That's crazy, dude. Like for commercial use? Yeah, I bet his min-max what game is dialed. Oh, there we go. Teleported again. Alright, we're gonna go the right way this time. Probably gonna run a commercial. It's hard finding fully wireless split ergo boards that don't suck. Yeah, dude. The glory of capitalism. There's demand. People want to buy that shit. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Did it explode? Everything froze. It might be because I went wrong ways. We'll find out. We'll find out how exploded Unreal is. It might just catch up here. There we go. We're good. Okay. We're going this way. I am streaming from this machine, so it's probably not happy loading and culling and doing all the stuff that it's supposed to do. Check this shit out. Oh, man, there's something wrong with my neighbor's house, bro. What is he doing in there? He's fucking Voronoi out of his mind. His wall is writhing. Turn off Discord. Oh, yeah, good point. I am streaming over there. Hold on. That'll fix it. That'll fix it. Thank you, Tony. Okay. All right, let's look at this guy Voronoi out of his mind. Back to the serious stuff that matters. So this is one of the problems with the this modular neighborhood pack that we got. The geo fucking sucks. So there's like little gaps and all kinds of shit. So well, we got to fix that, but we'll get there. That's polish phase work. Oh, we're getting perfy. It's alright, we're surviving. Yes, it is. Well, we got... Wait, what's happening in the mansion? There's yellow in the attic now? I thought no one was there, dude. What? This is crazy. Huh, what's this? All right, well, there's there's a thing that we gotta fix. The 3D mesh for the note is like cutting in front of the text, but there you go. All right, we'll dismiss that. Cool. Got a note from the girl at the party. Let's go. All right, so see this weenie's working a little bit. I see a big yellow glow coming out of the house on the right-hand side of the street. So I know these are the wrong ways. Opt in for the worst experience. What do you mean, bro? Motion blur is cinematic. I'm not one of those guys, don't worry. If that's a part of the original vision, sure, I'll fuck with the motion blur, but if it's not, nah, turn that shit off. And when I say that, I mean like a single player, you know, cinematic experience with like robust narrative, whatever, and they're taking you on this journey. That's where motion blur makes sense. Multiplayer competitive shooter? No. Why the fuck would you put that in there? Yeah, no, I'm with you on that, Adder. I'm totally with you on that. I don't know why motion blur became a thing. I think it's just because, you know, people want to pretend that they're a Hollywood director when they're making video games, and so they're like, look at, I'm using cinematic technique. It's like, all right, dude. Whatever you say, man. I think we go this way. This one I haven't set up with a proper weenie yet. We'll find out if I chose the wrong path. I think I chose the wrong path. I'm pretty sure it's that way. Let's find out. We'll find out together. Unless this will break it, Tony. This might break it. Yo, thank you. Ban that motherfucker. Get him out of here. Was that one of those best streamer, best viewers, whatever the fuck? Oh! Alright, wrong ways aren't working totally. Nice, good job, dude. Get him. Oh, here, hold on. Let me turn off the debug. Yeah, we'll just turn her off. And then we'll hit generate. This will take a couple minutes. Hopefully my machine doesn't freak the fuck out while it's happening, but it'll be okay. All right, sweet. Didn't take that long. Hey, what's up, Turning Cog? Look at your lamps, dude. They're fucking lamping out of their minds, man. Look at those guys, dude. Just lighting up the facade of these suburban cookie cutter homes. Alright, so we know we go this way. Turning Cog, we got some interesting stuff going on now in Dread. Oh, Turning Cog was? They were talking about the guy that got banned for terrorism. Look at this, Turning Cog. What's wrong with this house? My neighbor is fucking doing weird shit, dude. What are they doing in here? Oh, what's up, Sushi Fu? What are they doing in here? That's fucking crazy. Doug is Voronoi out of his mind. I'm gonna report him to the HOA. Mansion has the glowing yellow lamp in the attic. We'll grab our note this time. All right, love it. The note will clean up. We have a... That's checked in. It's just not updated yet in content. Okay, so I think... There we go. It is left here. All right, so it's left here. The lamps are pretty big, though. It makes a big difference to the feeling of the neighborhood. Having a street with no lamps on it would be really cool, too. Like, go the right way. You got yellow light being cast from the, the Voronoi fractal. You've got it coming out of all the windows of the spooky mansion, that type of shit. That's what we're talking about right here. And that's just first pass stuff. It's going to get better. I don't mind the no music stream. Can layer in my own jams. All right. Word. I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, that's the solo Vince stream is the no music stream. Okay, where did I go last time? I went down the right-hand side, and I think that was wrong. Oh, yeah, here we go. I recognize these lamps. All right, you guys are getting a good taste for what Dread's going to be like. We got some end-to-end shit going on right now, which is great. So I picked up that one note. That was from the girlie at the party. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? I see this house again. What the fuck is this, bro? Did I put a note on this one? I don't think I put a note on this one. I think it's on the next house. Oh, let's see if the journal is here. Oh, it might be under J, actually. Yes! Okay, journal is here. I just need to hook that up. Nice. Simple Sins authored that content today, which is great. Let me see. They have all the tools I think they need for that already. We send music to the live channel, but don't send it to VOD. They should just expose that for the broadcast. Yeah, actually, that'd be cool. Have all the data to make it happen. Literally just adding a toggle button. Yep. Okay. Gotta look again. Do I see any glowing yellow? Yeah, dude. There's some fucking yellow. Alright, cool. We're going. I think this one has a note. Look at my legs. Go up here. Spooky dog. What are you doing? Don't bark at me, bro. Can't wait to see you at the party tonight. Why? Wait, Josh is crossed out? Huh. Weird. Oh, these weird statues. Dog! Statue's gonna turn and look at me. Oh, it's looking at me, dude. Whoa, it's spooky. Please bear in mind, none of this is polished yet. It will get better. I'm just playing it up right now. Okay, I think that's the right path. Yeah, I think this is the right path. I think those are the torches out front of the mansion. Yeah, there we go. Okay, this is the right path. We might need to switch from lumen to different measurer with wider range for the lower luminance. Yeah, I mean we definitely haven't even done a lighting pass yet, so we could definitely experiment with some things and get it to where it needs to be turning cog. Don't worry about it. I like your lamps. It's a big improvement. Okay, got no note here, but now there's lights on in the house. What the fuck is going on, bruh? I think all the rest of the houses are going to look the same for what it's worth. It might have the glow coming out of the attic on the next one, though. Unless it's this guy. There it is. It's this guy. To get the random within range? Okay. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Adder. The hot spots are what I was talking about as like an issue. Got more lights on in the house. Huh. I don't think it's down there. Is it down here? Yeah, it's down here. I could see the two-story building with the yellow glow coming out of the attic. So one thing about this neighborhood that's interesting for helping with this breadcrumbing of the player, telling them where to go. The mansion is 2 stories. Everything else is 1 story. That's good. We want to stay that way because then it's easier to identify the correct street. Those are going to change a little bit. It's not going to be a mansion on every single segment, but it'll still be something that a player could like look down the street and visually identify as like, oh, this is kind of the right path I need to go on. I don't want players to spend a whole hell of a lot of time figuring out that mechanic. So, is it this way? Thought I saw some yellow. Yeah, it's this way. Nah, dude, thank you for the lamps. Just need a bat symbol to point the player in the right direction. That's a little too heavy-handed, Sushi Fu. But yeah, so if you can see, we've got this yellow glow coming from the attic. So what I'm looking for is like a yellow glow. It's too dim right now. It's not tuned or anything, but a yellow glow that clues me into that's the correct street. It's a taller building. It's not going to be a mansion on every street corner. The Voronoi house is definitely going to be one. So I'll work on that a little bit during the stream. I'll show you guys what I mean by that. Okay, so let's see. Is it this way? I don't see a 2-story out here. Is it this way? It might be this way. Or is it this way? It's this way. I think we're almost at the end of the neighborhood. Games industry news of the day: GTA 6 officially delayed until November 2026. Damn, bro. What are they doing out there? Did I already go buy this house? Oh man, I'm getting fucking lost because I'm reading chat. Making games that are too big for their massive team. That's what they're doing. Yeah, good point. No, I went the right way. Yes, we did it. Okay. We got to the end of the neighborhood, guys. I missed some notes. That's okay. It's all me. I think I got 2, and there should be 4 in this section. So I missed 1 note, because the 4th note is here on the gate of the open mansion. Nice, Adder. Get those guys out of here. Hire the scabs. Oh, dog bark. Jump scare. Oh, did I... Where's the note? Did I remove the notes? Notes are supposed to be in there. Maybe they got squished. Oh, here, I'll back up so that's a little chiller. Yeah, that's going to be interesting how that plays out. Isn't that team in Canada, though? So, like, those labor laws are totally different? Oh, we up in the forest? My stairs are gone? Oh, maybe. I might have, Tony. Yeah, it's all good, man. Don't even worry about it. The point is that it's working. So, like, you know, we've talked about this a few times. The end-to-end playthrough is really important because you don't have to squint as hard to know what the game is. So we will get there. I'm okay with little bugs like this as long as I can still get to the end. You know, we'll fix them in due time, right? All right, so I'm looking around. I see another yellow orb. There it is. There's the Z fighting in the UDS. Got the double sky spheres, maybe. Yeah, I bet the Voronoi did not look good on the ball. Oh yeah, there might be like 4 skies up there. Don't worry about it, man. It's okay. We'll get there. We got to get in the lake in the moonset thing, whatever. We need to get that in, and then we need to get the section after that, and then we need to get the capstone in. And when we have all that, then we can start fixing all the bugs and making sure, you know, we're good there. Oh, we got triple orbs. Oh, I like it. I like it, dude. Oh. I see Tony's been fiddling with some orbs. Oh, there's not supposed to be. There's not supposed to be multiple orbs. That's so fucking funny. It's not bad. It's interesting. But yeah, I probably loaded 3 copies of the environment. That would be my guess. 3 forests, I bet, are sitting on top of each other right now. Yeah, exactly. There are some rounded pier lights that I was looking at. The ones that look like fancy mason jars. Those could be kind of cool, man. Ah! What was that? Got a flash on my desktop, I think. Oh, there we go. Valid character. Uh-oh. Oh, there it is. Oh, man, I can't see it. Is it there? It's there. Okay, so this is all Golden Path. Golden Path. I didn't stop and smell the roses or explore or anything, really. And you guys can see that we've got probably about, like, 10 to 12 minutes of gameplay on Golden Path if you're making the right decisions. So we're getting there. We're getting there. More games industry news. Apparently, Netflix hired a ton of games hired a bunch of senior devs to lead some new games initiatives. Many of them started work on Monday and found out today that Netflix is canning the whole division they just started with. Sounds like 20 to 30 devs affected in this way. That's crazy. Get hired for new job, immediately lose it. Yep. Classic. Classic corporation moves, man. All right, let's see. So what was I going to do here? So I was just thinking about what I played. That's working pretty well. I want to move the Voronoi house up. So I know I got this guy chilling over here. I want it to be maybe across the street from this guy. Yeah, let's see what that feels like. Let's do that. Let's just move it around. It's pretty easy to move and undo and all that other stuff. So we're going to be on not index 0. We're going to be on index 1. They're both on the left-hand side of the street. Nothing in index 0 there. This should be, yep, Voronoi TV. Sick. Okay. So this is the mansion. I want it on the, let's see, this is in index 2. So I want it on this one. We're going to add 2 of these. Open this bad boy up. Voronoi TV. Turn that one off. Save this bitch. And then we go up here. We regenerate the neighborhood. Get it going. Hey, what's up, Anna? Thank you for hanging out. I'm all by my lonesome right now. Well, Tony's here. He's in Discord, but yeah, you guys, we got some crickets. I'm just kind of doing a walkthrough and playing, you know, Dread and adjusting some things, so. We've got probably somewhere between 10 and 15 minutes of gameplay on Golden Path right now. Do we need different streetlights? What are your thoughts on that, Tony? Adder says, I know 2 of them, which is how I heard about it. Both of them were 15-plus year tenured devs with Bethesda that left their jobs at last month to take this new gig. Oh my god. Bethesda has a strict policy of not rehiring. Happens very rarely. Oh my god, dude. That's so fucked. Alright, so there should be no more Voronoi TV on the left here. Yeah, we're chilling. Homie reverted to normal neighborhood doings. Oh my god, it's... Oh, sick, dude. It's sticking out of the house. I like that. I know it's not supposed to be doing that, Tony, but it's okay. Oh, I didn't put it on the right one. Okay, so I made it one house there. Alright, so I need to move it over. That's what we'll do. So let's get back in here. Yeah, I needed to put it on index. And then we'll do this. We'll go to the next segment. I'm going to do something crazy, guys. This is going to be real crazy. Save that puppy. Generate neighborhood. And we go again. It's going to be crazy, dude. Don't even act like it's not going to be crazy, Turning Cog. It's probably not that crazy, you're right. All right, so we're still working out how the crickets are going to work, and we really only have crickets right now. We have a bunch of sounds in the project, different samples we want to use, but implementation currently for like the way it should work is just on crickets. So we're gonna dial it in, and then we'll have a more broad landscape of audio. Did I go the wrong fucking way already? Shit, I'm lost, guys. I think I needed to go this way. Yeah, there's some yellow. Okay, there's some yellow going on over here. Okay, that's on the right house now? That should be directly across the street from the mansion. Yeah, there we go. Maybe I missed it again. I needed to put it one more up. Yeah, I'm going to put it one more up. That's not where I want it. Okay, so... Index 1. We got you. You're on the left. You're at index 2. Let's add one more and see if that puts it in the right spot, because this thing is bigger than a normal plot. So we'll do this, turn off that one, and turn this one on. Give it a saveroo. Hit the old generate neighborhood. Anna, since you're hanging out today, I could read some of the short story if that's something you're interested in hearing. You know, that's also true for the rest of you guys. If you want me to read some of the short story, I could try to do that while I'm like, oh no, it exploded. No, you don't get my information. We go again. I'm not worried about it. It's nice Adder's doing the Vince thing of relaying the effective dev news of the day. Yeah, thank you, Adder. Thank you for carrying the bit on. Why don't I have a 17 projects named Boom? Because I have Dread and Advanced Locomotion System fucking V whatever. That's what I've got. I've got that. I've got several fractal cores, 2 hyperskates. This is a level test I did for... Who the fuck did I do that for? I don't even remember who I did that for. They gave me like 2 days to design a level, so I just made something with some verticality and some side lanes and shit in like a competitive shooter. Dude, it stresses me out too. They didn't like my level design for what it's worth. They never even messaged me back. They just disappeared. I think that was round 3. I don't know. Somewhere in there. While this is loading. All right. So let's start with the Dread short story. Escape. The doorknob was cool to the touch. My heart beat, a heady rhythm in my ears, and the house was thick with the silence of midnight. I was giddy with the thrill of rising adrenaline as I slowly turned the doorknob. I took extra care to remain silent, turning the knob for what felt like minutes until it suddenly stopped rotating. As I gently pulled the door open, my heartbeat was pounding in my ears, reaching a crescendo of anxiety. My thoughts raced with the possibilities of being caught in the act should I make even the slightest noise, but as the sound of the sleeping neighborhood and gently chirping insects hit me along with the cool night air, I was exhilarated by the prospect of illicit freedom. I quickly glanced behind me as I surreptitiously crossed the threshold into the welcoming moonlight of the backyard. This was my last chance to turn back and be the good kid my parents thought I was. My thoughts suddenly caught in conflict as my conscience questioned my actions, rapidly flitting ideas of disapproving adults fighting with my choice to leave the house. My free hand subconsciously reached in my pocket to feel the handwritten note she gave me at school earlier that day, renewed my confidence in my decision. I silently pulled the door shut and let the knob rotate to close the latch bolt. I hurried across the yard in the moonlight, still taking great care to make as little sound as I could. I reached the fence and looked back at my house one last time. No lights were on. I vaulted over the fence onto the sidewalk. I was free. Oh my god. Why can't I scroll? There we go. All right, the Lost Neighborhood. Let's see, where's Unreal? It's coming. As I lightly jogged down the sidewalk, up my street towards the street lamp on the corner, I pulled the note out of my pocket and unfolded it. I subconsciously smiled and slowed as I came to the overhead soft yellow-white glow of the street lamp and read the words, "Josh, I can't wait to see you at the party tonight. Faith." I looked at the street lamp on the corner of the four-way intersection, still grinning as I folded the note and put it back in my pocket. I let out a soft, hopeful sigh and looked to the left and right and then glanced behind me at the cul-de-sac towards back Sorry, 1 second. Then glanced behind me back toward the cul-de-sac, half expecting to see my parents walking in my direction. Give me Notion back. But the street was empty, silent, sleeping. The fastest way to the party was straight ahead, across the street. But that's also where the unsettling abandoned old mansion sat on the unkempt lot, so I detoured to the right to go up 1 block and then left around that house. I moved up the street at a regular pace, looking up at the stars and the moon, letting my thoughts wander. Thinking about Faith and getting to know her more at the party. I breathed in the night air, heard the whispering of the crickets, and looked at the houses of my neighbors with a slight smirk as I thought about how I was out wandering the streets when I wasn't supposed to be. I came to the intersection where I planned to turn left, but stopped because straight ahead was that same unnerving abandoned house directly up the street from me. What the fuck? I whispered to myself in the now strikingly oppressive and empty night. I turned to the left. My heart was now racing, and my gait followed my mood. I approached the intersection, and my blood ran cold. I slowed to a stop. The house was there again, in front of me. I started to panic with confusion. The doubt was overwhelming. I frantically looked back from where I had come, and there was my own house at the end of the familiar cul-de-sac. I looked back down the street towards the mansion. There was a light on across the street from the mansion and the neighbor's house, shining from the living room window. I felt hope that maybe I was just lost in my thoughts and maybe I wasn't crazy. I moved up the street toward the neighbor's house. All right, let's see where the Unreal's at. Let's get this fucking actor boy over here. How many things exploded? Game. Whoops. I was in the right folder already. There we go. You like it, Anna? Thank you. It's not fit for public consumption yet. I need to do an editing pass. It's all first draft so far. And we're only 2 chapters out of 10 in or whatever. I'm calling them chapters, but they're really like, 2 paragraphs, 3 paragraphs. All right, how many things broke? Maybe not many. It's saved. Let's see if I still have the plot stuff I was doing in here. Okay, so I've got this guy on that one. And I needed to look at the other side of the street, right? Index 3, Voronoi TV. That. Okay, we should be good to go. Do I dare hit generate neighborhood again? Yes, I dare. Describes the surrounding, the ambience, and gives the vibes. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to say, how I use it as like a design tool. It's like a weird thing. I've never worked with another designer who would do it that way, but I don't know, it works for me. I've been writing stuff for a long time, and it's an easy way for me to express myself. So I like it. I think other people on the team like it. I hope. I try to make it entertaining. And for what it's worth, like a lot of the design docs that I've read in my career are extremely dry. And they're like 30 pages. They're just not good. So I'm trying to aim for like something that's good and entertaining and digestible and not awful. Oh, we're getting grumpy again. How grumpy are you? You're gonna be fine. All right, sweet, it's fine. So the other thing with the story is, like, you'll notice there's no cul-de-sac. The house isn't at the very end of the street, but that's okay. Like this idea that we're following is how we're gonna get to making the game that will ship, you know? Yeah, there we go. We got it in the right spot now. Alright, so Doug's out here just Voronoi-ing up the neighborhood with his giant TV. We got glowing light in the attic up here. Here's the first note. 30 pages of, and this happens, and then this happens. I mean, yeah, pretty much. It's like the whole gameplay experience. Oh, I just got connecting to chat on Twitch. Let me see if I can refresh it real quick. I don't know if chat is being eaten, so I'm just going to refresh my stream manager. Yeah, there we go. All right, there's that note. We got the note. Oh, here's the crazy street. So now we know. This is probably not what Tony intended with these Voronoi houses, but now we know that we're on the right street because every house is just Voronoid out of its fucking mind. Alright, fine, Turning Kaga. Wasn't that crazy? Nice. Tony reading my mind. I like it for the sake of variety. I think that's good. There wasn't. I don't think I put a note on this house. I'm gonna go back and check. Yeah, exactly, Tony. More and more Voronoi. Just really like dialing it up, making it very clear. Because you know, I saw that yellow glow down the street. I was like, oh shit, that's where I gotta go. The trick is gonna be letting the player make the wrong turn a few times. So. On some streets, the weenies aren't going to be super clear. We're probably going to need to lean on audio a little bit more instead of visual stuff. But on other streets, we want to be like, definitely go this way. So a little bit of like memorization, a little bit of exploration. This is the way? Yeah, this is the way. Oh, here we go. Let's go back to the street. We're going back to Voronoi Alley because I'm going to read this next section. Alright, so we'll go in this direction. Make sure I'm not in a loading area. Alright, cool. Let's grab this. I'm going to move it over here so I can read it. Now my actor palette is in the way. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Alright. My heart was pounding as I got closer to my neighbor's house. I recognized that the TV was on in the living room as light cascaded out of the living room window, and I felt much less alone than I had on the quiet, sleepy street. I was filled with hope until I got close enough to see into the window, but then my blood ran cold again, and the hair on my arms stood on end. The living room was empty. Nobody was there, and the house was otherwise dark. The images on the TV made me dizzy with dread. What I saw was a constantly shifting black and white image that resembled the structure of a leaf, a biological Voronoi fractal periodically zooming in, shifting, and changing in terrible ways. I turned away in horror as I did. I noticed a scrap of paper on the porch. I don't know what compelled me to do it, but I slowly walked over to the paper. Something was familiar about it. I bent and picked it up. It was a note that read, Josh, I can't wait to see you at the party tonight. Faith. But Josh at the party and Faith are all scratched out. I frantically reached into my pocket where the note had been. It was no longer there. My head, the world, and the whole universe felt like it was spinning. I looked back to the living room window, and the TV was off. I looked up and down the street, looked back at the mansion. Everything was quiet, normal. At least as normal as it had been when I left my house minutes ago. I turned away from both houses and ran. There won't be running in this game. I ran up the street in the direction of the party. When I got to the intersection, it was familiar. The street with the mansion was to my left, and so was the neighbor's house I had just come from. I stood still and realized the only sound I could hear was my own heartbeat relentlessly pounding through my skull. Alright. I gotta do something about this actor palette. You're just getting close, bro. In my way. Alright, okay, so that's Voronoi Street. Whoa, did I just see my own shoulder? Oh, that's crazy. You can see your own head if you whip around fast enough. Okay, it's on that side. Yeah, I think we're good. You could IRL too, see through the back of your own head if you turn around too fast. I think it was this way. Yeah, it's this way. Something happened to the notes. Maybe I just need to put the notes back in here. Oh, I wonder if it was the code change. Yeah, let's do that. Let's check out where these notes are. All right, so they should be on. Let me check my handwritten note here. A, E, and I is where the notes will be. Okay, so I'm pretty sure we found the note on A. So we'll just go check her out real quick. Yeah, okay, so that note's there. That note's working. E was the next one. No note on E? What the fuck, bro? Okay. Let's see if it's on D or if we got like... Yeah, this one's on D. Yeah, let's get this one out of here. Okay, and that's note 2. All right, we're good. And then we'll go with... I. So we have A, E, and I. All right, so we'll slap a note in there. Placement doesn't really matter. I just want to make it so that it is in the right spot. And we're going to change you to note 3. All right, and then we'll go with... I think it's Infinite Stairs combined. Note 4. All right. Should work. Let's find out. Let's see. It wouldn't feel that good whipping your head around too fast. Yeah. The Cod Alpha V lets me see my own neck. Yeah, dude. Are there any other point of interest specific lights needed? Yes, but I don't have an answer for that just yet. I know that we'll need stuff. Yeah, I think lighting for like a sconce in the statue. So remember, Turn and Cog, you were talking about like an uplight to illuminate a statue. That's going to be useful. I don't know what you want to make it look like. In some cases, it'll be behind the fence of the mansion. So let me go over here. I'll show you what I mean. So when you're on the street, you notice that this like hedge and the brick wall are in the way. So the statues are just kind of here. The player's never going to be able to see the lamp on the ground. So in that case, we can just use a regular light. So like we have these guys here. They're not great. I don't like them. They came with this this pack. Anyway, so in this use case, they're not really going to be visible to the player. So you don't need to worry about geo as much. We probably don't even need a lamp for that. In the, I can't really show you the statue situation. Here, let me see if I can do this. Is it B? No, it's going to be C. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So I've got like a statue here, and then D's the other one. Let's look at D. That'll be the better case. All right, so I lit them with just the thing that's lighting the attic and the in the interior of the house. This is just like an emissive orb that has a light source in it, and it kind of like moves around. It's the same one from the forest. So having something light these statues from the bottom would be useful. But we're also going to be in a situation with the statue corridor. So if you were here yesterday and you saw Tony's myhouse.wad infinite hallway where you can like set the number of turns and then it, you know, has an ending or you turn around, whatever, that's where the statues are going to appear. So imagine like a walkway and there's just like a bunch of statues. The statues will sometimes be on the sides of the player lining the walkway. They'll sometimes be in the middle, stuff like that. But as they're lining the walkway, that's where we'll need an uplight to illuminate the statues themselves. I assume lighting that appropriately might take more than one light. Like it's probably going to be one here. Here, I'll just illustrate this for you real quick. Probably be something kind of like this. So they're like both kind of in the front of the statue, you know, casting light upward in that direction to illuminate the face of the statue. I could also see it being useful to have one like back here too, so that there's some light behind it. I'm not super like actually turning cog. You probably know better how it would be lit, being a stage person, knowing how like you want those uplights to cast like dramatic shadows on these statues and stuff. So like one in the front, maybe one in the back, or if you need to like have three. I don't know what the right solution is. From the guts of the floodlight, already working on a pointable uplight. Hell yeah, dude. Thank you. Yeah, that would be really useful. All right, we're back. Is that just one? Yeah. All right, cool. Let's see. We're going back into Dread, see what I made, see if we get all the notes we need. There we are. All right. It's fucking lit. Oops. All right, so what we're looking for this time are all four of the notes. There should be notes on house A, E, I, and the final house. Final house being the one where we walk into and go into the forest. Would you look at that? We got A here. Can't wait to see you at the party tonight. Oh, thanks, dog. Looking at the note, that'll go into the journal section. But yeah, you'll just look at it, and then you'll go like this. Sorry, it's not that. You'll go like this, and you'll have an entry here that's like note number 1. You can click on it, and you'll go to that same interstitial screen. J, cool. That one, yes, that one's Modular Gothic Cathedral. All of the assets we have, Turning Cog, with the exception of the lights that you made us and the glowing orbs, are from, you know, an asset pack that we found. We don't have an artist, you know, like someone who's making stuff for us, so everything's an asset flip. We can tell you exactly what pack it came from, too. Like, these suburban houses are modular neighborhood. This is Victorian Manor, or Mansion, something like that. The spooky house is modular Victorian, that's it. Oh my god, I went back down the same fucking street I came up. It's pretty easy to get fucking lost in here. Which is good, that's what we want. And then once the tells become much more clear, and by tells I mean, you know, the weenies, the audio cues and shit like that, then you'll know, like, you'll get a sense for it. I want the player to catch on to that pretty quickly. Like, look for some visual and audio clues Oh my god, guys. I literally just doubled back on myself. Oh, I needed to generate neighborhood. That's what I did wrong. That was on me. That was on me. Hopefully we don't crash again. Let's just give her a rip, see how it goes. Oh, we're good. It's happy. All right. Cruising on up the street. Let's see if I can read some more. All right, so that was the right path. Yeah, okay, good. This will take us to the end of the neighborhood. All right, so in the last one, the street with the mansion was to my left, and so was the neighbor's house I had just come from. I stood still and realized the only sound I could hear was my own heartbeat relentlessly pounding through my skull. So their player took a wrong way, showed back up at the same spot again. Obviously, it's not going to work exactly like that in gameplay, but the mood is clear. It should be. You should be like, wait, what the fuck? I just came from there, and it's different now. All right, so following the way, I stared for a moment. The street, the trees, the sidewalk, the shape of the mansion, the neighbor's house were all recognizably familiar, but on the wrong sides of the road. Where the mansion had been on the left and the neighbor's house on the right, they were now swapped, with the mansion on the right and the neighbor's house on the left. It wasn't as if I was walking down the street from where I had just came backwards, but instead it was just mirrored. I was still looking at the same sides of each house as I had been looking at before, but the locations were simply swapped. There was a light coming from the window of the first floor of the mansion. So let's go over there. It's on the third floor in this case, but it looked similar to the light that had been coming from the neighbor's house minutes ago. I couldn't turn away. I slowly walked towards the mansion, drawn in, despite my instinct to turn and flee. As I approached the mansion, I saw a white, hauntingly familiar scrap of paper pinned on the wrought iron gate that connected to the fence, which ringed the property. The sounds of the night had returned. The crickets and cicadas chirping in the wind. The crickets and the cicadas chirping in the wind in the ancient trees on the lot were oddly comforting compared to the silence that pressed heavily in around me minutes before. I hardly noticed when the light had stopped emanating from the first floor of the mansion because I was fixated on the note hanging from the gate. My hand trembled as I reached out to take the note because I knew in my heart that my pocket was empty. The note read, "Josh, I can't wait to see you at the party tonight. Faith." I tested the gate, shaking it to see if it would open, but the ancient portal wouldn't budge. I turned away from the house, trembling, staring at the note, thoughts racing from the implication. I looked back at the house, turned to the street, and a low, unearthly hoot echoed from the wooded copse around the mansion behind me. I jumped with a start and hurried up the street to the intersection. All right, so now we'll get to the end here. We got the Voronoi boys on this block, just getting wild. All right, so this is the third block. There should not be a note here. Because I got A. This should be C. Yeah, no note. So the next one is going to have dog bark. And there should be no note there. It'll be on the one after that. There it is. So no note on this one. There should be a note on the next one. This one might be C. I think this one's C. Yeah, this one's C. D should no longer have a note. This one's D. I need an old-timey voice filter. Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to, like, voice act it. Oh, the voice filter on. Got you. Alright, no note here. Statue should turn and look at me. Oh, it already did. Can I make it turn again? No, I think they're one and done. There we go. We should get a note on this house. Ribbon mic voice filter. Has a warmer tone. Okay. There's the note. Oh, spooky. Okay, so that's note number 2. We've got 3 more houses to go by. This is house F. A little bit of radio crackle and some mid-Atlantic accent. I don't know if I could do mid-Atlantic. He's mountain people? Who is? I'm mountain people? Yeah, that's true. Hey, what's up, push button? Could you force the player camera to stumble to transition the mansion from its first to second position? Yeah, we can absolutely do all that stuff. Were you listening to me narrate and like read the story? Is that what you're kind of wondering about? Yeah, no worries, Tony. So Tony's going to be gone for the rest of the stream, but thank you for hanging out, brother. Thanks for helping me set up the stream stuff so that we got a little more professional on my end. But yeah, take it easy, bro. Yeah, hit me up. Hit me up when you get back. We should talk anyway. I just realized it said spooky doll. That's the wrong string up there, but it's fine. All right, we got that note. Is it this way? I think it's this way. We got a lot of lights going on over here. Oh, it's not that way. Shit. Gotta go back here and figure out which direction it's in. It might be this way. It's this way. Okay. Whew. Yeah, I've been mulling it over. How do you make the player doubt it changed? That's definitely a tricky part. I like exactly what you're saying. So one of the things we have already is a look trigger. So it's really subtle, but just as a proof of concept right now, when the player entered that volume, which I did before I picked up that note and looked at those statues, when I exited the volume, it's a little tiny thing. There was just like an icon floating on the street. When I exit that, the statues turn and look at you. So lots of tunable things that we can do to build these mechanics for sure. Let me see exactly what you said again, because I like the idea. Could you force the player camera to stumble to transition the mansion from its first to second position? So like as you walk, you like trip, and then you look up and like the mansion's no longer there. Yeah, we could definitely do that. Oh, I gotta make sure that my chat is scrolled to the bottom. Pennywise in a drain. We might get sued if we do that, unfortunately. Yeah, exactly, turning cog. The trick is finding that balance between did the player notice it and did the player not notice it. So there are some things where we're going to have to like fuck with the player a little bit and make it so that they're like, wait, did that change? And then there's some that need to be obvious where you're like, that definitely changed. So yeah, finding that balance is kind of where we're at right now in the cycle. I don't think it's down here. Where were we? Oh, it is down here. I see it. Thought I saw it. Did I see you glowing over there, bro? Oh shit, did I go wrong way? No, I didn't. I think this is the second to last segment, and then I go left, and it should take me to the end. So we should have a note on this fence. Oh, maybe not. Oh no. Not like this, guys. I'm lost in my own spooky neighborhood. Ah, it is this way. Okay. Mansion's on the left. An actual penny in a drain? Yeah, that would work. I hate the shot. Yeah. So I'm with you on that, Turning Cock. I don't like taking control away from the player. I think there's other ways we can make that happen, though. Like, we've got the technical prototypes built to make that happen. Okay, so this should be second to last note for the party invite. Yeah, everything's strike through there. Spooky. Journal didn't update, but that's okay. Probably need to do some data table hookup for that. Yeah, there we go. Alright, now we should get the note in front of the last house. Okay. Welcome home. At the intersection, the way to the left and the way straight ahead looked like my neighborhood, but the houses were wrong. I didn't recognize any of them. I was lost. I slowly turned back to look, I slowly turned to look to the right, deeply afraid of what I was going to inevitably see. The mansion was there. In this case, I looked to the left. The street was impossible. Fear had become something different, something I didn't understand. The path I had taken to where I currently stood was one that didn't exist in the neighborhood that I knew as my own. None of this was right. I've never been here before, but it all felt uncannily familiar. The mansion was at the end of the street, surrounded by a foreboding wood. Imagine there's a foreboding wood back there. Horribly dark forest lined either side of the street to my left and right. In this case, we don't quite have that yet, but that's okay. We'll get there. The terrible edifice was the only building, looming impossibly bigger than it had been in my mind. So this is where that will change. So I'll start doing some of that work after I get out of this part of the story. I was compelled forward, each step heavier than the last, but I couldn't stop. My mind was screaming in terror for me to turn back, to run, to go anywhere but towards the dreadful estate. I saw affixed to the open gate beckoning me forward a piece of paper that I knew all too well. I was sleepwalking, pushing through a thick dream. I reached out and took the note. Hold on, I'm going to get up here in a second. We're walking. Ah, scary dog bark. The note had a new message for me. I see you. The terror overcame me as gruesome noise issued from behind me in the direction of the intersection I had just passed through. Dog bark. I wheeled around to behold a pair of yellow, piercing eyes glaring into me from an impossible inky blackness that had consumed the neighborhood. I pivoted back to the manor and the door was open. Black and white light issued forth in dappled, morphing patterns from every window of the building as a grotesque mimic of what I'd seen on the TV in my neighbor's house. I ran for the open door of the house to escape the presence that was behind me, leering from the void. The moment I crossed the portal into the mansion, the door slammed shut behind me. It didn't shut. But you get the point. A life-size copper Abe staring back from the drain. That'd be pretty funny. Abe Lincoln holding a balloon. Yeah. Just so far removed from the source idea, it's the most high-effort shitpost. That would actually be pretty funny. Because I don't, that would be Easter eggy. That's like not on the golden path. That'd be a funny thing to do. All right, let's see if we if we properly loaded the forest this time instead of loading it 3 times. Abe with an owl? Yeah. I think Abe with a balloon would probably do it. Copper Abe Lincoln bust. Yeah, and now bear in mind, guys, I know where all these things are. I know where I need to go. So a player playing this naturally is not going to play the same way. They're not just going to immediately like key in on things. Some players will, and that's fine. The important part is, as I'm balancing the length of each of these sections, making sure that we're hitting like 30 plus minutes, even if you are still like you're doing the golden path stuff. So that's why I say 30 to 60 minutes, because some players are going to get lost. They're going to like wander around, try to figure out where they need to go. And in that case, their gameplay experience is going to be longer. Some players are going to look at the notes and scrutinize them, think about them, and be like, what is going on here? And asking questions and trying to get out of environment and shit like that. So that will also extend their playtime. Exploring the neighborhood more, seeing if they can go to backyards and stuff like that. Because players aren't going to know what the hell this is the first time they play it. So, I mean, you could say, like, anyone in chat who's watching this right now or has watched the VOD, like, you guys will know because you'll have seen me play through it. But that's not the experience we're building for, right? It's different. It creates other problems. Yes, I have seen the movie Vivarium. Yeah, exactly. That was definitely... There were some parts of it that inspired it a little bit. Like the fractal on the TV, definitely Vivarium inspired. But I don't think the rest of it. I want to say you might have recommended Vivarium, and this is weeks ago, and I went and watched it after that. I didn't care for the movie, if I'm honest. I think it would have done a lot better as a short, like a 45-minute film, because there was a lot of nothing happening, and there were just like long segments of 15-20 minutes of like mood building that was just kind of like, well, I guess they're doing some shit, and then something interesting would occur. I didn't really think the kid was definitely spooky, but it got kind of old. I like the idea of the film more than the film. Yeah, good call, push button. Yeah, I agree with that. Turning Cock says, but nothing builds tension. Do you mean in Vivarium? Because I agree with that. I think they're at the point where they're starting to build some tension and they just don't do it. I did watch last night. I was watching a show, and then I stopped watching the show and switched over to Underwater, which is a sci-fi horror film. Let me give you guys some details on it. Has Kristen Stewart. It looks like it came from 2020. Yeah. Let's see. Kristen Stewart, Vincent Cassell or Castle, Mamadou Athey. I don't know how to pronounce that name. It was interesting. I wouldn't say it's like a must-see. Had some interesting visual effects. Lots of like terrors of the deep because it's set underwater in like a sci-fi habitat that's very, very deep in the ocean. What films are you talking about, Turning Cog? Were you like the ideas better than the film itself? I'm just curious. All right, what was the one I was experimenting with? It might have been C. Oh shit, did I change anything with ambient? Better not have. I did. I put a fucking note on the door. Idiot. Hopefully that's just L manor A. Yeah, okay, never mind. I know why that worked that way. All right, so let's go to... Let's start with, like, I, because I is probably going to be the best place to go to here. And then we'll go with... I don't think I did... All right, so we can get some pieces and parts and start doing some stuff here. Flyer might be interesting. Let's throw one of these boys in here. Let's get with Gothic window. Oh, that's so big. All right, we'll see if we can make it work. Let's do, I like this rose window. We can do this little spire thingy. Cathedral roof spire, that'll work too. All right, cool. Let's fuck around with these and find out. The pitch of this isn't great. I'm not going for perfect placement here. I just want to see how some shit looks. So don't worry about it. We'll see. Oh, it's going to rotate around that pivot. That looks fucking jank. It'll be fine. Actually, here, let's do this. Remember, lighting is not going to be super great, so... Oh, this looks so bad. Tilted all wonky. Oh, I hate it so much. All right, it'll be okay. Let's move it up a little bit. Something like that. Let's see if I can squint. Yeah, it looks so bad. It looks okay. It's not ideal. Anyway, let's just keep it going. Sure. Actually, let's do that. Copy this one. Fucking type shit. Ugh. Alright, that's fine. It's fine. It's horrible, but it'll be fine. Here, you know what? I'm gonna do something really awful. Do that. Oh my god, this is so bad. It's betterer. This is so bad. All right, here. Just pretend with me for a minute. It's spookier looking when it's got lighting hiding all the bad shit. Okay. I meant to build tension for nothing and almost ruining the climactic event or climactic moment with that BS. Yeah. There's something terrifying about deep water. I had to stop playing Subnautica in VR. Push button deep water is definitely a part of this. So I don't know if you saw. Let me see if I can find something real quick that I can show you. From yesterday, Tony made some cool looking things. Yeah, here we go. We'll just pull this over. So imagine some shit like that happening. That's in editor with stuff that we have. So you're on like stone rot walkway, like you're in a Gothic castle, which I still need to pull some more parts over. This is Gothic Cathedral. It has this weird like fleshy texture on all the stone, which I think is good for like the very, very end of the game being really creepy and stuff, but it's not going to work well for like some other things, so it'll be all right. This will probably help this a little bit. Let's see, how do you look? I want you higher up. Yeah, go like that. Some kind of shit like that. Needs to come towards me a little more. Let's get it like really up in there. Player's about that tall. Yeah, and then we can take like don't worry, this will make more sense. Do some shit like that, and then like I gotta swap these. Yeah, one's smaller. Alright, so we'll move you over here. Move you back over here. This will look better, I think. Pull you forward a bit. Some kind of shit like this. It's too noisy. Really, I want it like out here. So let's do this. Let's grab some. Pull that thing in there. Get some pillars. I don't know which of these look like what, so I'm going to grab a few of them. Well, that's not what I want. Yeah, we'll leave you in here. Find a spot for you. And then, let's see. Actually, this will probably do better. Yeah, let's pull this guy in here. Yeah, we'll get rid of this guy. Yeah, that's better. All right, cool. Pull this forward. Oops. Wanted that one. Sweet. I didn't do anything with this guy. Fuck, this is probably going to be way better than whatever this gibberish is I got going on here. Yeah, let's see how this goes. This is going to be way better. Yeah, let's get rid of this thing. Goodbye. Oh, I hate that. That's so bad. This pitch angle is so terrible. Now, let's just go up a little bit. It's kind of working. All right, let's get a couple more of these. Maybe another one of these little shorty guys. Let's see. Be bold, commit art crimes. It's for the blackout ideas. Exactly. I've got a neighbor called Alan. He attached a water feature to the front of his garage. If he can do that IRL, you can attach cathedral parts to a virtual house. Yeah, exactly. So this is mostly meant, this obviously looks terrible when it's unlit, but everything's going to be really, really dark, and I'm going for the facade right now. I'm not going for, like, you can look at it from every angle and it looks good. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just trying to get some general shapes for what looks kind of cool and creepy, right? So we'll grab this one and shove that into the ground. That should be tall enough. Nope, that's not tall enough. All right, so we're grabbing... Get out of here. Do this thing. Something kind of like that. All right, yeah, it's kind of working. All right, cool. So this is I. Let's go back to Dread and see what this looks like in the game. It should look kind of okay. I mean, obviously there's no fucking sides on it, but like straight on it should kind of look okay because everything's so dark. So catch dudes later if you think of shit you need, DM me. Yeah, for sure, man. I'm going to be out of town this weekend, but I will... you know, I'll keep tabs on comms and stuff. So, you know, I'm going to talk to Tony a little bit more, obviously. Like, I'll talk to him all the time. I'll be reachable on Discord. So if you need anything, feel free to tag me. And have a good one, man. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, it's not as interesting when I'm not yapping the whole time. That's why I do the yappy thing, because I can engage with you guys constantly and just kind of keep a conversation going. But if I'm working on stuff, I can't do that. You know, I get nonverbal, and even when I play games, it's like that. Like, I get too focused on the thing I'm doing. So I hope that you guys still appreciate what's going on. I know, you know, there's several of you hanging out in chat, which reminds me I probably need to look at something else real quick. All right, we'll go here. All right, cool, we're chilling. All right, back to Dread. So let's see, that was on I. For the sake of not having to guess, even though I should be good at this, let's do show debug. All right, cool. Now we can just kind of like cruise along the blue line. Yeah, no worries, bro. Like, thank you for hanging out. You know, I do appreciate it. I'm glad that this is at least somewhat interesting. You know, it's definitely different from. We did some of this like very early on in the stream. I'm sure you remember, but yeah, take it easy, man. You know, I'm not trying to keep you, so go do what you got to take care of. Especially if you're feeling really tired and you just need to like zone out. You like seeing me do dev stuff? I'm glad you like it, Adder. It's yeah, I feel like it doesn't make for a good show. And we don't stream very much, you know. 4 hours a week is not a lot. So I just try to like jam entertainment into there. And since we started doing that, the stream does better. You know, me being quiet, like we're shy about like 5 people that we would normally have. And I know that a part of that is because I'm not talking. Like I know it is. As much as some people like to, you know, hate on me for being a yapper and all that, I know it's all in good fun. I know you guys genuinely enjoy the conversation. So the numbers reflect that. People come by and hang out more. All right, so continuing down the optimal path. And we're looking for, I think this was Manor I. So we got to get pretty far down these segments. We're on segment 3, according to debug. And we need to get to segment 9 or segment 10. Yeah, admittedly, Adder, I'm really bad in the engine. Like, what I was just doing, if I have all the Lego bricks, I can make cool stuff. And I mean, to be fair, it was like that at Bungie, too. Like, when I would do encounter scripting, and I would be, like, you know, setting up how an encounter flows and all of that, I would absolutely go look at, you know, I'd pull up a file for a mission that I really liked, see how they did it, and, like, copy-paste the scripting that someone else did. For the most part, the scripting wasn't super deep. You didn't have to get crazy with it in order to do things. I know that I would do some scripting for firing areas and shit like that, and a lot of designers didn't. They just didn't care about any of the firing areas and stuff. What that is like AI markup to get units to move around. You assign them to like certain spots so that there's more dynamism in combat. I really tried to focus on a lot of that. So, yeah. Even then, like I said, you know, I didn't get super crazy with it. There were some designers who would build a really, really complicated thing in script, and the gameplay was really thin. And I'm like, I don't know why you did all that. Like, you could have just let the AI make decisions for you, and it would have been better. Or trying to spawn, like, a carryable object for an objective that a player has to do. And what I mean by that is, like, you get this glowing orb, and you gotta, like, go pick up the glowing orb and carry it over to another thing. I know people that spent months deving a feature like that, and the gameplay moment is like less than 30 seconds and not even that interesting because it's a game about shooting aliens and collecting guns. So carrying an orb was a boring gameplay moment. But it literally took them months to get all that working in a scripted sequence. And like that, I don't know. I just didn't, that's not the way I work. If I have enough pieces, I will make something good out of the pieces. So when I talk to the rest of the team about things I need to make cool shit, I go like, I want to be able to do this, and I talk in broad strokes. Like, I want to be able to create an experience where the player, you know, turns to look at the mansion, just like in the story I wrote, describing those moments. You know, I'll use similar language, but less verbose and less poetic, I guess, because writing a story that someone's reading is very different from explaining an idea to a person that you're in a meeting with, you know. Anyway, I'm kind of bloviating a bit. It's a good time because I'm walking, so get my walk on, get my steps in, close some circles. I say that and I don't even have an Apple device. I have an iPad. It's right here. This is what I'm listening to you guys on right now. Let's see. Where is Cathedral? Did I already pass Cathedral? Am I just yapping too much? It should be on this last street. Oh, okay. Yeah, here we go. I think I see her out there. No, it's not this one. It's going to be the next street. So, see, yeah, like we've got squint with your ears and your eyes, and you'll see the direction we're going in. And what I mean is, imagine there's not a manor on every street. That is a correct way to go. But there's something else, like the Voronoi TV house, some Gothic spires, you know, a house with some fucked up shit and some weird sounds and some crazy lights coming out of it. On one street, all the houses are Voronoi TVs, you know, stuff like that. That's what the player should expect going through each of these turns. So the neighborhood is going to get progressively weirder and more spooky. I mean, this looks awful because this doesn't have any backing. I need to put in some more shit to like close that off. But yeah, it's, I mean, you get kind of like a proof of concept idea. Like now the mansion looks weird, and as long as it doesn't get lit super well, we'll be just fine. Here, let's see what it looks like without the emissives off the debug. So get rid of some of that green and blue light. That's a lot better. So I'd want to put some stuff in the back to block that out. Some more geometry to make this look like a cathedral spire would help too. Because like if you look at it from the side, it looks pretty bad, obviously. But that's the point. I don't really care about that right now. I'm more looking at like, does this shape language work? You know, like, does this look neat from the front? And I think for me the answer is yeah. When you compare it to, we'll go down the street here to another manor and take a look at it. Yeah, when you go down here and look at this one, like, that looks like a normal house. That does not look like a normal house. Those are the turns we're going to expect to happen as things get weirder and crazier and spookier and all that. So I imagine if you were looking at how I had to go into a sub-level to edit the facade of the house, there's another sub-level to do this house. And so I bet that's where I would probably fill in the forest for the backing of this area. Put some real spooky trees back there. Yeah, I think it'll work. Make it look a little more like this facade out here. I think it's kind of working. Obviously nowhere near done or shippable, but it's cool. It's changing up the lines, the way the shadows are being cast, making it look like it's got more depth to it. That's what I was going for. This view is what I was indexing off of. I don't like the gap in the flying arch on the second story. I don't like that. I don't like the gap with no stained glass or anything in the windows, so fixing that up and making that look more interesting, but also casting... Here, I got an idea. I know what we can do. Let's get some lights in this bitch. So that was Manor I. And I think I have one. Yeah, I do. Got one in the attic. Pull this up a bit. There we go. Much better. All right, and then I'll get one more. I wanted one on this like second level here. Just stick one like right there. Should be pretty cool. And then we'll get one back behind this other buttress or whatever the fuck you call these things. Scooch her a little into the middle. How are you gonna look? You're a little low. I want you like right there. That should be okay. Move it a little closer. Get some of that action. Okay, so we're gonna have some better lighting going on. I've got one down there. I think that'll be all right. We're gonna see the gaps a lot more, but that's okay. Yeah, absolutely. Here's the problem, push button, is we're working strictly off of like asset packs, so we'd have to go find one that would work. And you know, we have a whole like farm for asset packs and stuff in a separate project that we can pull stuff out of and then migrate to this project and all that. So we're being selective about it. That other project is like 60 gigs. It's fucking huge because it just has a ton of asset packs in it, and those are generally expensive. But yeah, trying to find the right balance for like the mood and the feeling and everything is pretty tricky. While also being able to do it with like free assets that we got. You know what I mean? Omni, I think there's plenty of like interviews with the guy that you can go see like what his creative inspiration was for. And it's all like weird Freudian psychology. So he's not that interesting. Just kind of like, if you want to read about or watch something about a very interesting artist, let me find this documentary. It was made by DiCaprio's little brother or his cousin. I think this is the right one. I just want to make sure that this is the correct one real quick, so I don't tell you guys about the wrong one. Yeah, I gotta find the one that is documentary. Yo, can you stop playing ads? Thank you. Okay, I think it's called... Yeah, okay. Struggle, The Life and Lost Art of Zhukalski. That's the one I'm talking about. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I know what I need to do here. We can get there faster. Segment 10, probably? Yeah, here we go. Alright, and then we'll just drop the old boy on the street. Lighting is not as dramatic as I thought it would be. It's definitely better. You can see this guy like sticking out. That sucks. Oh, it's because of where I have it. It's too low. I need to raise that one up a little bit if I want it to work that way. I want to do more lights. Those aren't good enough. Whoa, ayo. Too fast. All right. Okay, so I want one of these. Let's move it up. Yeah, I have an art book from Zhukalski too, Omni. Very, very interesting person, for a lot of reasons that I don't necessarily want to get into on stream, but yeah, very interesting career. Polish sculptor. Almost his entire body of work was lost during World War II. Some parts were like saved, but there was a museum dedicated to him before Germany did German things. All right, we got one up there. I think I want to do two of these actually. Let's get him over there. And then this guy is up too high. Or too low. Yeah, let's do like there. I'll grab one of these and bring it down. And I think I want another light over here. Put that one like right there. You're gonna be able to see those, huh? Yeah, these need to go up higher. All right, it's a little better. You know what? Let's get extra wild. Yeah, let's put you over in the side room. Bathroom, that's what this is. Yeah, something kind of like that. That'll probably be okay. And then let's get one. Did I get all the windows? Oh, I don't have one in the living room. Let's move you back here. Grab another one and move it like... All right, so this should be very, very yellow lit. Ooh, one in the front door would be cool too. I'm not going to spoil it here. We're going to go to Dread and see what it looks like in Dread. Okay, sorry. Missed a few things. Vince R. Geiger. The birth machine metal sculpture is goated. What's the birth machine? Is that... I think it's Giger, by the way, as weird as that is. We were looking at a really old PC game that he inspired yesterday. Dark Seed, yeah. Box art in Discord. Dark Seed is so underrated. All right, Adder knows about it. Let's see. We got to generate the neighborhood again because I made a bunch of changes to that level. Make sure the new house gets imported, and then we'll play from here. Drop the old boy. There we go. There we go. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Shit like that. That's the ticket right there, guys. So imagine that this changes over different segments of the neighborhood you're walking through, and you'll get some fucking crazy shit like that, right? Tony, don't be too excited. This looks like ass from the side, by the way. So I'm gonna come over here and show you. It looks so bad. But I was building it just for that front view so that it looked really good from like one angle. So obviously it needs a lot more, but this is what I've been thinking about. You know, the evolving spooky fucking mansion is this type of vibe here. Yeah, exactly. Perfect, dude. So I think the best application of this for the fully fleshed out one with all the spires and, you know, buttresses and all that shit will be, what the fuck did you call it? Combined. This one that's down on the end here. So making this house look like that house. Actually, I can probably just do that right now. No, I can't. That's going to be a pain in the ass. Might be able to just copy paste all these bitches over to... I mean, I guess I'm at time anyway, so I can do that later. But yeah, I'll move that over to the spooky house at the end of the street. So the end of the street gives that vibe. Put some trees behind it and shit. Players aren't gonna be walking around the edges of the one at the end of the street, so it'll be really good. Yeah, I feel like that's probably it for me today. What are you guys thinking about? Chat's been pretty quiet. I know we've got the people chilling. I hope you guys enjoyed the story. I hope you enjoyed watching me fuck around with the what do you call it? Different environment art things. You're out with more dog things? Okay, no worries, bro. Yeah, I'm sorry, Tony. That fucking sucks, dude. I'm assuming you're back home now. You're home? Okay, cool. Well, I will wrap up the stream. Let's see if anyone's live that we could go raid Reno here. Let me switch scenes. Is it this one? Hey, it's that one. All right, cool. Make sure all my things are saved. All right, cool. It's all saved up. Let's grab this window. Pull that over here, and then I'll go with oh, that's not the right window. I want one of these. Yeah, is Boom live? Let me find out. I can just see. Yeah, Boom's live. All right, we're gonna go see Boom. Say hello, everyone. I hit the start button, but we've got about 10 seconds before it'll go. But say hello. You know, as per usual, drop some trees. Holler at Boom. Everyone have a good weekend. Be safe, but not too safe. Thank you for hanging out on the Solo Vince stream today. And, you know, thank you for the conversation, you know, throwing in ideas and stuff. Yeah, thank you for chatting about things and hanging out with me. We'll see what it's like next week. You know, I've got some things going on myself this weekend, but yeah, we'll figure out what it is. And don't worry, we'll be here Wednesday and we'll be here Thursday next week. So we'll catch y'all then. More Dread Dev. Expect the game to keep coming along. A lot of the work gets done on this, you know, at random hours of the day. Everyone on the team kind of works at different times and does different things. I expect that the journal system is probably going to be more hooked up by the time we stream next week. I'll swap around some of the house stuff so that it looks a little more like what it will ship as, with the big spooky version of it at the very end. Yeah, all that shit. Anyway, go say hi to Boom. Later, y'all.
Like, I'm just kind of... I'm just the same. Help! Help me, Fractal! They're bear trapping me! They're trying to steal my pizza!
Turn off OBS.
You can never steal my pizza. It's my pizza.